මාව ඇහෙනව නේද clearly right මම ගෙදරට ආවා ඔයගොල්ලෝ කරගෙන යන්න අපි තව විනාඩි ඔව් 5කින් 7කින් මොකද ළමයි තත්ත්වය පළවෙනි ප්‍රශ්න 10 කරලා ඉවරද right රන්දිස දැන් නේද කනෙක්ට් උනේ අපි අපි ගාව තියෙන පේපර් එකේ පළවෙනි MCQ questions 10 කර ඉන්නේ කරන්න try කරන්න මම question paper එක ආයෙ WhatsApp එකකට දාන්නම් ළමයි ඒකම ඔයගලන්ගේ 13th lesson එකේ ටියුට් එක print කරලා තියෙන්නේ. ඇවිල්ලා collect කරගන්න පුළුවන්. අපිට physical classes පටන් ගන්න ඉඩ දෙයිද කියන එක තාම doubtful. ඉස්කෝල සම්ද පටන් ගත්තයින් පස්සේ බොහෝ විට ඉඩක් ලැබෙයි අපිට. නමුත් ඒක වෙනකම් පොඩ්ඩක් ඉවසගෙන ඉන්න වෙනවා. ඉතින් ඒක නිසා අපිට ටයිම් එක වෙනකම් මේ විදිහට මෙයමු. right ප්‍රශ්න 10 කරලා ඉවර වෙච්ච ගමන් මට ඉන්ඩිකේට් කරන්න. ඕකේ භාෂිත ඉවරයි අනිත් කට්ටිය කොහොමද? right දෙන්නෙක් ඉවරයි. ඉවර කට්ටිය ඉස්සරහට යමු. 10 ඉවර වෙච්ච ගමන් කියන්න. 10 ඉවර වෙච්ච කට්ටිය ඉස්සරහට කරන් යන්න. right විනාඩි 20 ඉවර වෙන්න තව විනාඩි 2ක් විතර වගේ තියෙනවා. right okay 3 දෙනෙක් ඉවරයි. right 4 දෙනෙක් ඉවරයි. right අනිත් අය මොකද මට 4 දෙනෙක් කන්ෆර්ම් කරා ජනුද okay right දීලක රන්තිස done okay දීලක disconnect වුණා නේද අනේ ඉන්නවා දීලක මොකද අපේ right දීලක ඇහෙනවද දීලක ඉවරද වැඩේ දීලකගේ මයික් එක ඉන්ඩිකේට් කරන්නේ ගොඩක් දුරට දීලක right අපි කතා කරමු මෙතන දීලක ඉවර ඇති කියලා right so the first question which of the following is considered the first digital computer that could store programs right so the first digital computer that could store the programs is going to be the EDVAC right the third answer it is there in your tute in the second lesson right so ENIAC is considered as the first digital computer, right? And going forward, EDSAC is the one, the first full-size stored program computer. And EDVAC is the one first digital computer that could store programs, right? And this UNIVAC is the one which use the inputs and outputs with the help of punch cards, right? So those are the milestones of the history. So for the first answer, for the first question, answer is going to be the third one, EDVAC, right? And the second one is asking which of the following invention laid the foundation to modern computer technology. So modern computer technology, it's based on the microprocessors, right? So it's not the abacus, not the Mark I or electronic valve, that means the vacuum tube, not the transistor, but the microprocessor. So it's the fifth one for the second one, right? So we remember the history. The first generation has the vacuum tube, second generation has the transistors, third has the integrated circuits, right? The fourth is having the very large scale integration, VLSI we say, and as well as microprocessors. And the fifth generation has the ultra large scale, ULSI ultra large scale integration, right? So which lead to the artificial intelligence, right? So the answer for the second one is going to be the fifth. Yeah, and the decimal number equivalent to the octal number 456. So to do that, you have to consider the the place values, right? So let me do it for you, and you will remember if you got any things to get remember regarding this, right? So let me do the calculation. Right, so it is about 456. So 456 in octal. So converting this into the decimal needs the place value. So it is a to the power 0, a to the power 1, and a to the power 2, which means 1, 8, and 64. So the summation is going to be like place value will be multiplied with the symbol value, right? So answer is going to be like 64 into 4 plus 8 into 5 plus 1 into 6. So which gives you 256 over here, 40 over here, and 6 over here, which gives you 296 and 302. Right? This is in decimal. So 302 in decimal, which is the fourth one. Right? So that's the answer for the third question. All right, this thing. Right. Then, and if you got any questions, just ask me, right? Like if you really don't remember how to do that, right? Right? And the fourth one, it is asking about a blank involves Binance Selling process supported by electronic means, primarily the internet. So we just talked about this lesson like 2-3 weeks back. So it is e-commerce, not the e-business, because this is specifically said about the facts about buying and selling. So Binance, when it comes to the buying and selling, it's commerce. So since it is happening electronically, it's e-commerce. When it comes to the e-business, the entire thing, like the purchasing the materials, production, selling, promotion, distribution, and all these things involved in electronically, we call it e-business. But specifically when it comes to the buying and selling, it's going to be e-commerce. So the fourth one, the fifth is the answer. Right? And the fifth one, it's a little bit tricky though. It is asking which of the above are main types of hardwares now. Input devices, output devices, memory devices are some clean answers. But when it comes to the network devices, those are type of the hardwares again, right? So the much better answer is like ABCE, but ABCE is not here. So the best answer that you can go is like ABE or ABC, right? So either third or fourth, right? You can't go for control devices, like there is nothing called control devices or direct entry devices. Now there are direct entry devices, but those are like subcategory of an input device. Now what are the direct entry devices? Means like the devices that the user is involved in to give an input, right? So the best answers that we can go is either third or fourth, right? And the addition, yeah. So like in the addition, you got the answers in octal as well as decimal. So you are given the question with the octal base and a decimal base value. So it's 632. 632 in octal plus 129. 129 in decimal. So either you can convert the 129 into octal and do the addition, or else you can convert the 632 into decimal and do the addition, right? You can't do the addition on this manner because bases are different. So I'm going to convert 632 into decimal. So it's 632 means like, again, here you got 1, 8, and 64. Now you know how we got that. So 64 into 6 it is like 360 plus 24, 384. Plus 8 into 3 is 24, plus 1 into 2 is 2. So the addition will give you what? 400, 408, 410. 410 in decimal plus 129 in decimal. So the answer is going to be 539 in decimal. So do we have an answer like that? 539 in octal is there, but not decimal. So then we better convert this 539 into octal as well. So 539 into octal. So it is like there are 6 and 5 is remaining, 7 and 3 is remaining. And doing it by 8, so it's 7. No, it's 8 and 3 is remaining. So 833 in octal. I'm sorry, which is wrong. You have to divide by 8 again. So 1 and 0 is remaining. So 1033 in octal. Right, so 1033 in octal was there, as I remember. Yes, the first answer. So the for the 6th, it's going to be the first answer. Right. So I'll show you the other way around as well, like converting 129 into octal and do the addition, right? So if we convert 129 into octal, this is the second method. So it's going to be 1, and for 49, it's going to be 6. 1 is remaining. So divided by 8, so 2 and 0 is remaining. So 201 octal added with 632 octal again. So 2 plus 1 is 3, 3 plus 0 is 3, 6 plus 2 is 8. So 8, for 8 there are one group of 8 and 0 is remaining. So this one takes to the bottom. So this gives you the final answer, 1033 octal. So it's the same answer that we take. Hi. So is it clear so far, people? Especially the calculations. Randisa, what was that question about? Like, what is the real time? Randisa, class time එක ගැනද Randisa ඇහුවේ? Like, when it is going to be the class? Yes, Randisa, දැනට fix වෙච්ච time එක තමයි 10 to 12 කියන එක මගේ 2023 classes පටන් ගන්නකොට තමයි මට පොඩ්ඩක් ඔයගොල්ලන් එහාට මෙහාට කරන්න උනේ. දැනට මතක තියාගන්න එක 10 to 12 කියන time එක fix, right? Right, වෙනසක් වුණොත් මම ඔයගලන්ට inform කරන්න. So it's 10 to 12, right? Okay, so I hope everything is clear with you for the moment. So going forward, a type of the 7th one, a type of primary memory that can have the desired data and instructions programmed onto the memory chip is called, like, when it comes to the primary memory, we are talking about the RAM, cache, and ROMs, right? So random access memory, read-only memory, and cache, right? But here they have specifically said that can have desired data and instruction programmed onto the memory. So if you want to program something onto a memory, which is going to belong to the primary memory category, so definitely it's going to be kind of a ROM, but it's not going to be the CD-ROM, right? CD-ROM is, again, we are referring to a CD, and here it's going to be a programmable ROM, PROM, right? So it is the place that allow us to program things into a 1. So CD-ROM, we can't program things to a CD-ROM. We can just write data into it, right? So it's PROM. So that means programmable ROM, right? So when it comes to the ROMs, there are 3 types like PROMs, EPROMs, and EEPROMs, right? So PROM E stands for programmable ROM. EPROM E stands for erasable and programmable ROM. I'm sorry, electrically programmable ROM. Hold on, let me confirm. All right, yeah, erasable programmable ROM, and EEPROM is electrically erasable programmable ROM. So PROM is something that we can program, and that's it. It can program only once. So you take an empty ROM and you program it, right? So that's all. It will remain forever, that particular program. EPROM, erasable programmable ROM, is like we can program it, and using ultraviolet light, we can clear the content and make it possible to reprogram it again, right? And electrically erasable programmable ROM is like it can be erased exposing to an electrical charge. Like EPROM එකයි EEPROM එකයි දෙකම you can erase and rewrite the things, but the way that it do is different. EPROM, you need a ultraviolet light to clear the content, and EEPROM, you can like just clear the things using the electrical charge. Right, so those are the 3 types. So the answer for the 7th one is the PROM, right? So the second. And for 8, it is asking what will be the output when the following Python code is executed. So they have taken something called values, which is limited with square brackets. So this is a list. And inside that list, there are 5 main items. So one is the first item is an integer or an int data type. The second one is a string. The third data type is a small list. And the fourth data type is again an integer. And the fifth data type is again a small list. So it is asking print values. Values is the name of the list. And they have defined the indexes like 4 and 1, right? So like 4 means the major index, right? So when it comes to this, yeah. Yes. Now, when you consider the indexes, this is going to be 0th index, this is going to be first, and this entire thing is going to be the second, this is going to be third, and this is going to be fourth, right? And for the strings, you can have indexes in different manner. right? So for string, this got 0th index and this got first. Right, okay, right. And when it comes to the list, again, this small list have separate indexes like 0, 1, 2. And this small list, it goes the same way, 0, 1, 2. Right? So they are asking the values of the 4th index of first. Right? So like 4th index means what? My God, why is this? Right? So the 4th index means the very last item. That means the very last list. Right? Yeah, it has the indexes like this. And so this is the 4th index. And this is the first of it. So 4th index, first, right? So it's going to be 15, the answer, right? So this will print as 15 on the monitor, right? So the answer is going to be the 3rd, right? So that is the answer for the 8th one, number 3. Right, so 9th. Yeah, and it has multiple answers. Consider the following output rendered by a web browser. RAM random, yeah, this particular output is there. So at the face of it, we can see it is a definition list, right? So for a definition list, so it's going to be what? DL should be there. That is the indication of a definition list. And then DT going to be there, definition title, something will be there, and definition data will be there. Right, so you can have many different definition titles and definition data under a single couple of definition list or DL, right? So the question asks, which of the following HTML tags can be used to create the above list? So like you can use like DT, DL, and DD as well. So like it's first one, 4th one, and 5th one can be the answers, 1, 4, and 5th. So you can have marks for any of those. Not to the ULs, not to the OLs. Because UL defines unordered list, OL defines ordered list. Right? And the 10th one. So the 10th one, it says select the correct arrangement of the storage devices in descending order of access time. Now, access time depends on the access speed. So if you consider the memory hierarchy, right? If you consider the memory hierarchy, normally registers comes up and then cache and then RAM, then the secondary storage. Right? So when it comes to the access speed, the speed is getting lower. Access speed, I'm talking about. So access speed is getting lower to the downward means access time access speed is getting lower. So access time will goes up, right? Because speed adu වෙනවා කියලා කියන්නේ time එක වැඩි වෙනවා කියන එක. Right? So that means they are asking according to the secondary storage. I'm sorry, in the descending order, right? So anyway, the registers or the cache memories should be at the very end, right? So if you consider about the first one, registers comes first, which is not going to be, it has the smallest access time, so it is wrong. And for the second one, cache memory, then RAM. Cache memory has the lowest comparing to the RAM. It is lower comparing to the RAM, the access time, so second one is wrong. Magnetic tape, hard disk, compact disk, RAM, and cache memory. So like when it comes to the magnetic tape and hard disk has a lesser access time, right? Where magnetic tape has bigger access time. So it is correct. Magnetic tape is getting more time to access and hard disk is getting less time. But when you're comparing hard disk and compact disk, still compact disk need more time than the hard disk. So magnetic tape, compact disk, and hard disk is going to be the correct order, right? So because of that, third one can be taken as wrong. And in the fourth one, it goes the same way. Compact disk, magnetic tape. So magnetic tape has the highest access time. එයා තමයි හිමින්ම read වෙන කෙනා. So that is why he's getting more time to access, right? So the correct answer goes with the fifth. Magnetic tape, then compact disk, then hard disk, then RAM, then cache, right? So the fifth one can be taken as the correct answer for the 10th. Okay. So anyone got 10 out of 10? Yes? Anyone? Okay. 9 out of 10? All right. 8 out of 10? Okay, Janudo got 8, good. And 7? Okay. Okay, good. Good, Randisa. Good on Eli. 6 out of 10? All right. All right. All right. So learn the mistakes, right? And yeah, if you got anything to be clear, first thing is just refer the tute. Tute has the resources, and if you are still not figuring it out, you can ask it from me, right? Okay, let's give a shot to the other 10 questions as well, right? Okay, I'm giving you another 20 minutes, so carry on. So it's 10:58. I'll consider it as 11. So 11:20, by 11:20, I'm going to discuss the other 10 questions, right? So do it until 20. If you like, if you are done, like if you finish it before the 10:20, just let me know, right? Okay, only that is quite fast. You can continue, Dua. Right, දීලක අපි පළවෙනි 10 කතා කරා දෙවෙනි MCQs 10 කරන්නේ 11යි 20ට ඩිස්කස් කරන්න ගන්නවා. Right, there are 10 more minutes. right ළමයි තව විනාඩි 5යි right දෙන්නෙක් ඉවරයි හරි ළමයි ඉවරද ඩිස්කස් කරන්න පුළුවන් නේද තාම කරන කවුරු හරි ඉන්නවද? Right. Okay, so let's go on the discussion. So the 11th one. Consider the following circuit implemented using universal gates. Then මේක මතක නම් එක සැරේ AND gate එක කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙම AND gate එක කියලා මතක නැත්නම් so you have to work out. Right? So how we are going to work out? So like you have to solve it නේද? මොකද වෙන්නේ කියලා solve කරලා බලන්න ඕන. circuit එකේ output එක මොන විදිහට දෙන්නේ කියලා. Right, so if you put A and B inside, this is going to give you A bar and this is going to give you B bar. Not so this is going to give you A bar plus B bar's total bar. So once you apply De Morgan, so it's going to be A double bar dot B double bar, which means A dot B. So A dot B means it's an AND gate. Right, so the answer is going to be the first one. Right, for 11th. And in the 12th, they are asking what is the 2's complement number of, what is the decimal representation of this particular 2's complement number. So it's like 10101101. So now as they say, this 10101101. Right, so that particular value is going to be a 2's complement. So if this is a 2's complement 1, by considering the very the most significant bit, we can say this is going to be a minus value. This is a minus number, so we have to figure it out what it is. Then කරන්න ක්‍රම ගොඩක් තියෙනවා, right? The easiest way is you can consider this particular one as its minus place value. So it's going to be minus 128. The rest of the things are positive place values, like 1, there is no 2 because it is 0. So 4 will be here, 8 will be here, no 16s, 32 will be here. Right, we can find what the number is. Right, right, so this gives you minus 128 plus 40 and 45 over here, so which gives you minus 83. Right, ඕක short method එකක් විදිහට කියනවා MCQs වලට ඕක පාවිච්චි කරාට කමක් නැහැ, but if you are going to write it in a structured paper, it's better you write it on this manner. There are 2 methods. So the first method is, so from the most significant bit you are going to figure out it is a minus value. So if it is a minus value, so you can invert the 2's complement. So that means 0 becomes 1 and 1 becomes 0. So like 0 1 0 1 0 0 1 0. Then add a 1 to the inverter. So that means 0 1 0 1 0 0 1 0 will be added with 1. So 1 1 0 0 1 0 1 0. So this represents the value of the minus. Again, මෙයාගෙන් අපි අරගන්නේ decimal value එක. එතකොට a value එකේ minus value එක තමයි represent කරන්නේ. Right? So if you think about this particular value, so this becomes 1. This is 2. No 4s, no 8, but this is 16. No 32, but this is 64. So මේ ටික එකතු කරාම again, 64 plus 16 is 80, 80 plus 3 is 83. So that means, what happened here? Right, so when you are having 83 over here, this represents minus 82. Right, so this is a one method, and the other method is you can do the reverse process of the 2's complement. So reverse process means api 2's complement karnakota what we are doing is we take the positive value, we invert it, we add a 1. So then it's going to give you the 2's complement value. So doing the reverse means you are reducing a 1 and invert it, then convert to the decimal. So it will give you the same answer, right? So you can use either of these ways or the methods that you can go, right? So which is going to give you the same answer in every scenario. Right, so the answer for the 12th, it's going to be 3 minus 83. Third one, which of the following is 13th? Which of the following is not stored in PCB, process control block of a process? So if you remember the things, it has the state of the process, name of the process, hold on, name. ID of the process is there. IO device used by the process is there. Resource allocated to the process is there. Oh, I rather doubt whether the name of the process, ID of the process is there. Context switch time can be, but name of the process, you are not naming the process. You are just assigning the IDs to a process, right? So like name of the process is something that you can't hold, right? So let me recheck. There goes the PCB. Yeah, process state is there, process ID, program counters, CPU registers, management information, IO stated, like not, there is nothing called process name, right? So you can go as much appropriate one, name of the process, the second one. Right now, the 14th is something little bit out of your syllabus, but you can have a rough idea about this, the degree of multi-programming. So now multi-programming means one particular like several programs are executing simultaneously for the same time, right? So the degree of multi-programming is the number of process execute per unit time, the number of process in ready queue, the number of process in IO queue, the number of process in memory, the number of process in virtual memory. So like the number of processes in virtual memory is out of context because like to do the multi-programming, you need the RAM and the process. So virtual memory is something belongs to the hard disks, right? So the number of processors in memory and the number of processors in the input output queue. Now those are input output queue එකේ ඉන්න කට්ටිය මොන වෙලාවට යයිද කියන එක අපි දන්නේ. Right, and the number of process in ready queue. So like in the ready queue, like there are people who are like ready to run it. Right, the number of process executed per unit time. Now degree of multi-programming, multi-program කිරීමේ ප්‍රමාණය කියන එකයි ඔතන කතා කරන්නේ. So that means we can go with the very first answer. The number of processes executed per unit time can be taken as a proper answer, right? But it is something out of your syllabus, right? Okay, the 15th, it says which of the following belongs to utility software. Now utility software means the softwares that we are not using for our works which we have to do day to day with a computer. So utility software will help the user and the operating system to run the programs in a smooth manner. All right, people, just a second. ළමයි මට විනාඩියක් දෙන්න. Right, sorry ළමයි. Right, so 14th one, like the justifiable answer, it seems to be first. එතන තියෙන උත්තර ටිකත් එක්ක අපිට යන්න පුළුවන් answer එක එක කියලා ගන්න පුළුවන්. So since it is not very much into your syllabus, so don't very much bother about it, right? So the 15th one එකේ අපි කතා කරගෙන හිටියේ utility softwares ගැන. So utility softwares are the one which help you, the user and the operating systems, to do their work in a smooth manner, right? But we are not using them to do our day-to-day works, right? So disk defragmentation software, it is. So we use it once and for all to do the defragmentation. So it is not something we use daily for our day-to-day works. File compression software. File compression software, it can be taken like අපි කරගෙන යන වැඩේ කියන්නේ අපිට ෆයිල් එකක් compress කරගන්න ඕන නම් අපි පාවිච්චි කරනවා. So it can be taken as an application software. So antivirus software is something that lies under the utility software category because it takes care of the system without the involvement of the user, right? So we can take like A and C, right? And as well as file compression කියන එක නිතරම පාවිච්චි නොවන නිසා it can be category under the utility software as well, right? Let me confirm that. Utility software. Yeah, so file compression can be taken as a utility as well. Because the file compression කියන එක like it's a specific task, right? අපිට නිතරම උමනා වෙන්නේ like utility software කියවම we have to think about whether it is like helping us to smoothen our work. Either file compression කියන එක අපි පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ අපිට store කරන්න ඉඩ අවශ්‍ය වුණොත් ඊළඟට like when we need to send something over an email, still the file is big in size, so we use that, right? So we can take all options like A, B, and C, all three, as the utility softwares, right? So the answer going to be for the 15th one is 5th. Right. So the 16th, again, it's something out of your syllabus. The answer is going to be the denial of service, right? The threat in a computer network where an attacker attempts to prevent legitimate user from accessing information or services called the maker. Parna syllabus එකේ තිබුණා, but it's not in your syllabus, right? So after 2017. It was not there in the syllabus, right? So denial of service is the one. So just learn the fact. සමහරලාට term test වලදී දෙන්න පුළුවන්, right? So like computer network එකකට ඒ කියන්නේ access කරන්න පුළුවන් user කෙනෙකුට someone is preventing යන්න දෙන්නේ නැති කරනවා, right? So it is denial of service, right? And 17th, which of the following is not a characteristics of a good algorithm, right? It should contain finite number of steps. Yeah, it shouldn't be infinite number of steps. It should be a finite number of steps, right? It should terminate for all input values. Yes. So it's gone on that manner. It should produce outputs. Yes. The steps should be precisely stated. Yes. There can be infinite repetitions. Now, it's not a good characteristic of a good algorithm. Now, if it is a good algorithm, there cannot be infinite repetitions. So infinite repetition means like our algorithm is not going to stop, right? So 17th, it's going to be the 5th, the answer. And for 18th, the following is correct about an operating system. It takes input from the system, not the operating system, an open system, about an open system. It takes input from the system. No, open systems take the inputs from the environment. The closed systems are the one which takes the input within the system, right? So first one is wrong. The product is not exported to the environment. Again, wrong. If it is open, so the product or the output is going to go or going to interact with the environment. Human nervous system is an open system. Now, it is a controversial thing because some says nervous system can be taken as a closed one because it is inside our body and it's just like working with the cerebral and the spine and all these things. And අපිට සංවේදන කියන inputs හම්බෙන්නේ nervous system එකට එළියෙන් නිසා they argue it is an open system, right? And in the fourth one, it says it imports energy from the environment. Now, that is a clear-cut answer. It imports energy from the environment. So that means it's taking something from the environment, right? So that is a direct answer for an open system, right? It allows nothing to pass its boundaries. No, it's in a closed system. So most appropriate, like the most suitable answer can be taken as fourth. Even the third one can go, but since there are some controversial things regarding that argument, the most suitable one can be taken as fourth, right? It imports energy from the environment. So the 19th, consider the following statement regarding a learning management system of a university. System shall be able to facilitate downloading lecture notes. Now, when they use the shall word, it indicates something essential, right? So we have to figure out whether this is a functional one or a non-functional. So functional one means it describes what the user expects from the system or what the system is doing, right? So this is something that this learning management system about to do or like supposed to do. System shall be able to facilitate downloading lecture notes. Yeah. So it is regarding the system. It is not talking about any limitation or any other thing. So it's going to be a functional requirement there. Make the system shall be able to download lecture notes within 2 minutes. So then, like, limitation. So that limitation indicating about a non-functional requirement. So this is about taking something out of the system. So it is functional. So it should be essential functional requirement, right? So which is going to be the second one as the answer, right? So 19th, the second one. 20th, which of the following is not true about data flow diagram drawn at system design stage? Yeah. It may contain elementary processes. Yeah, elementary process means the process that you are going to have ultimately, where that process cannot be decomposed further, right? Api context diagram එක යන්දින්නේ තනිකරම system එක. When it comes to the level 1, that system decompose into major processes. So when it goes to the level 2, so that if the major processes can be decomposed into smaller processes, it will decompose further, right? If it goes further than that, ඒ විදිහට යන්න පුළුවන්. තව දිග පොඩි කැලි වලට කඩන්න පුළුවන් නම් processes, so you can go. So එහෙම ගිහිල්ලා the atomic process or the process which cannot be like decomposed further is called as an elementary process, right? So they are talking about the data flow diagram. We don't know about which level that they are going to talk about. So in some level, anyway, finally, we are going to receive the elementary processes. So first one can be taken as correct. Second one, it shows the document passes between the external entities. Now, it's a little bit doubtful thing since they use the word document. Now, yeah, document can be passed as well as data can also be passed, right? So there is a separate diagram called document flow diagram to show what are the documents passes through the external entities, right? So based on that, we can take this as an incorrect one, right? So let's look into the other three factors. Third one says data store external entities can be duplicated. Yeah, data stores and external entities, like there are two things. So yeah, data store can be duplicated. We know how to duplicate that. So how we are going to duplicate a data store? So if this is a data store, this is the way we're going to draw a data store. And if you want to duplicate this, let's say this is sales. If you're going to duplicate sales, you should have this inner line. I'm sorry, not here, but from the front. Methane duplicate line. So this is D1. Let's say D1 is going to duplicate here. So it's going to be like this. Right? So මේ මෙතනින් අඳින ඊර තමයි duplication එක indicate කරන්නේ. Right? So that can be taken as a correct one. Data store and external entities. Yeah. How we are going to repeat the external entities? So using this diagonal line. Right? So we can repeat it as much as we want, So that is correct. Data flows cannot exist between a process and an elementary process. Now it's a little bit confusing. Data flow cannot exist between process and an elementary process. So then එකම එක්කෙනා ගැන නම් කියන්නේ, so this is true. And they can, like, when we are having the elementary process, first we are having a big process, then that big process is going to decompose into small processes, right? Later, if this can be divided into more small processes, so that can be done. එතකොට මේ වගේ එකක් තමයි elementary process එකක් වෙන්නේ. ඒක තවදුරටත් බෙදන්න බැරි වුණා. So in this particular manner මේගොල්ලෝ අතර connectivities තියෙන්න බෑ. මොකද එකම එක්කෙනා තමයි කැඩි යන්නේ. So data flow එකක් ඒ දෙන්න අතරක තියෙන්න බෑ. But if they are talking about an elementary process of one particular category and another process, yeah, we got sales and purchasing killer process දෙකක් තියෙනවා නම්, so elementary process, one of the elementary process of the sales can have a data flow to the purchasing process. So on that case, an elementary process and a process can have a data flow, right? So ඒක අර හරි කියලාත් ගන්න පුළුවන්, වැරදි කියලාත් ගන්න පුළුවන් එකක්. Right? So the fifth one, the location of a process can be left blank. අපි එහෙම කරන අවස්ථාවක් තියෙනවා. So it can be taken as a true. Right? So එහෙම ගත්තොත් අපිට වඩාත් සාධාරණ උත්තරේ විදිහට ගන්න එකක් මෙතන නැති වෙනවා අතට. මොකද like second one එකත් confusing. Like a 50-50 යන එක. Even the fourth and the fifth. Right? So for that reason I can give you all marks for this. මේකට හරියටම උත්තරයක් fix වෙන්නේ නැති නිසා. But it's better you remember what are the things, or like what are the differences. All right. So yeah, so that's the 20th one. So we got another 10 minutes. So let's try another 5 questions. So do it from 21 to 25. Yeah. ඉක්මනට කරා. අපි ඒකටත් ගාලා කතා කරලා session එක නතර කරමු. From 21 to 25th. And people, please come and collect your tute, right? We never know, we will be having a chance to have the physical classes by next week. Therefore, don't be sure about it very much. So just come and collect it, right? And please call before you come. මොකද සමහර වෙලාවට ගෙදර කවුරුත් නැති වෙන්න පුළුවන්. In most of the cases there are someone. Yeah, the 23rd one, you can't do that, people, because Kansei system is in the 13th lesson. So leave the 23rd. Okay, one is done. How about others? Oops. Right, two are done. Three are done. We got 5 in the room. Okay, 4 are done. Only 1 to go. Right. Ramdi sir, how about you? Ramdi sir, can you hear me? Right. Let's discuss. Right. 21st, encryption is best described as. Now, encryption used as a security method to not to interact or to read a particular message during the communication, right? So what they're doing is they're using some algorithm, they scramble the message, and that's what we call encryption. And at the receiving end, using some other algorithm, they decrypt the message, right? So encryption and decryption happens. So this says a set of procedures that is applied to data to modify its appearance. Appearance, that's a little bit doubtful. Second one, a set of procedures that is applied to data to prevent its reading by unauthorized parties. Yeah, that gives a good explanation about the encryption. The third one says a set of procedures that is applied to data to modify its structure permanently to prevent its reading by. Yeah, permanently is the problem. Yeah, permanent change එකක් නෙවෙයි maybe, right? It's temporary. Like when it receives at the receiving end, it will be reversed. So third one goes since it is permanently, and the fourth one is having the word permanent as well, a set of procedures that is applied to data to modify its structure permanently. So again, it's off. And fifth one says a set of procedures that is applied to data to prevent its modified by unauthorized parties. Now, encryption, the major purpose is like preventing the not the preventing the modification, but preventing the reading, right? So fifth one, comparing to second and fifth, second gives you very much or like a good explanation about the encryption. So second one can be taken as the answer, right, for 21. 22nd, which of the following is not a valid private IP address? Now, private IP address range is going to be what for class A? It's going to be 10.0.0.0 to 10.255.255.255, right? So that is the class A range, and class B 172.16.0.0 to 172.31.255.255, and the class C stuff 192.168.0.0 to 192.168.255.255. Oh, what's happened here? 192. I'll repeat it again. 192.168.0.0 to 192.168.255.255. Now, if you consider the IP addresses given in here, so 10.34.112.1, it is a valid IP because the first of it should be a 10. Last 3 octet has the range from 0 to 255, right? So if it is starting from 10, those are going to be correct ones. So first one and fifth one is correct. 192.168.1045, the fourth answer, it is correct as well. And the second and the third, 172.20.167.12, 172.10.54.87. So the range was 172.16.00. So from 16 to 31 in the second octet, in the second octet. So 10 is not a valid number that is going to like stay, right? Or like as a private IP address. So the third one is going to be the answer, the invalid IP address, right? 23rd, I ask you to not to do it. 24, consider the following statement on DRAM and SRAM. So DRAM is majorly referred to the random access memory, the RAM that we are talking about. SRAM refers to the cache and the registers. So DRAM chip do not need electricity to keep data. That is wrong. Both SRAM and DRAM need electricity to keep data. Those are RAMs, random access memory. So once the electricity is gone, data is gone. So A is wrong. If A is in your answer, you are going to take it out. So second one is out, fourth one is out, and fifth one is out. So it is only first or the third, right? So the second one says SRAM use more transistors than DRAM. It is. SRAM is using more transistors than DRAM. So B is correct. Cache memory and register are made up of SRAMs. Again correct. So B and C, the third answer, can be taken as the answer, correct answer. So the 25th, it's easy. This particular code, what is the effect of the attribute ALT that they are asking? So we know IMG is there to attach an image, SRC is there to say where the source is, width is there to say what the width is, and ALT is there to say if the image does not get loaded onto the browser for some reason, alter text will show, right? So the correct answer is going to be the second one, neither. It displays the alternative text sun if the browser could not load the image. Yeah, so the second one is going to be the answer for the 25th. Right, so yeah, so we discussed some of the questions today. So we are going to continue those, as well as we are left with e-commerce things, right? So we have to do those questions slowly. And meanwhile, please come and collect the 13th lesson so we can wind that up too, right? Okay, people, so I'm going to end the session from this point. So we are going to meet for the very same time on next Saturday if things are going to continue like this, right? Okay, people, have a nice weekend. Be safe, right? I'm going to end the session from here.